Hi people! Hope you're doing well today. This week I felt very united with the INFP title. I've been thinking about the fact that I am an INFP a lot, and that's what inspired me to do this video today. So this is called the best advice for INFPs. You know, how to deal with life in general, which is not an easy task for us. The first advice I would give, and I keep repeating myself, is to look at society and give it a type. So society, once you start studying it, is clearly an ESTJ. It is a lot about having a future outcome, dividing tasks, being productive, doing it in an efficient manner, following time, being productive, making rational decisions so that you get to that point. It's, you know, responsibilities and taking care of your life and in general, and having appointments and all of that stuff. There is a lot of tea involved, and then there's a lot of routine and doing stuff again and again and again, and looking at details and noticing discrepancies, and sometimes you're even paid to do just that. And in general, we have to do the same thing over and over again every month or every week or every day, you know, either taking a shower, to going to the groceries, to going to the dentist every year. It's always always have to do it again. But for us INFPs, our world is very different from that based on our functions. So we should be happy that we use said popular functions for society, which is TE and SI, extroverted thinking and introverted sensing. We're lucky, I mean, we have it in our stack, but even though you will be on top of your things for a couple of weeks, let's say you have lots of appointments and lots of responsibilities to take care of, and lots of things you need to do again and again, or your job is getting repetitive, or the way you make money, or the way you spend your time because you have no choice. You can be pretty good at it, but it'll get super tiring. And I think it's always good to remember that society is an ESTJ, and I think it allows you to sort of distance yourself from all the trauma and be like, sure, I mean, I'm supposed to be an ESTJ, and I am obviously an INFP, so it's about, you know, balancing all of that. And when you get to a point where being an ESTJ is too much for you, which it will because you're not an ESTJ, then you go back to your roots. Second advice that I think is very important for INFPs and to get on with our lives is that you absolutely have to be emotionally healthy, and for that you need an emotional space, in the sense that you need space to express said emotions, live in it, understand them. We need a lot of self-reflective time, and it's so important to carve out that time as often as you can in your life, because if not, I believe it's easy to get very unhealthy, and being unhealthy, you start being unhappy and you start making people around you unhappy, which I mean, yeah, you can do that if you want, but in my opinion it's better if you make everyone and yourself happy. But anyway, the importance of having space to express our emotions. Now, how do you get that space? Well, you create it, obviously. So you carve out time and you go in a quiet space and you think about your emotions and you write them out, or you draw them, or you paint them. I've started painting and drawing, and it is helping me a lot. Art therapy, you guys. So create that space, either where you talk with someone, or you write it out, or you just feel it in general. Since you value your emotions and what you think is right and wrong, you just need time to think about those said emotions and those said values. And if you don't give yourself that time, well, warning, you know, you could become a tornado and destroy everything in your path. Because that's the power of INFPs. When we are unhealthy, we destroy. That's not true. Don't know what I'm saying. So yeah, and then another advice that I believe is very important to get on with your life as an INFP is most INFPs, since extroverted thinking is our last function, we can have a quite toxic relationship with money. Maybe money, we see it in a negative light, or we believe when we think about money, we immediately think of wrong things like stealing or fraud or snobbishness. Can you even say that? I believe that you should work on your INFP relationship with money. It's very important because when you're wired towards seeing money in a negative way, well, it's going to be negative. We all know that, but sometimes we sort of forget that we need to have a relationship, and that we, in fact, anyway, already do have a relationship with money. And it's important that it's a healthy one, because without money, I mean, life can be a little, in the street or whatever, can be cold, can feel hungry. So if you want a life that feels warm and safe and fun, you need money. And that's the sad part. But yeah, I would tell you to manage your money, make a budget, read about money, how much money there is in the world that could go to you, because there is a lot of money in the world. We sometimes believe that we shouldn't even expect to be rich, rich is a weird sort of word. It's hard to describe really, but any rich you imagine when I say rich, you should be able to just go for it, so yeah, please find a healthy balance in your relationship with money, because money is quite important. Also, for INFPs, it's very important to schedule some time to connect with your body. Now, I don't know if you're like me, whatever, I'm not important, but sometimes you can feel out of touch with your body, with its needs. Sometimes when I get anxious, I get so in my head that I don't even feel my body anymore. And I think it's important that you sort of have a ritual to celebrate your body, either by eating really good food. When you eat good food, you're grateful for your body, because without your body, you wouldn't taste said food. And you can also do that with hugging people or more or whatever. Filtered boat, but anything that celebrates the body and its wonders, I think you should carve out some conscious time to focus on that, because it doesn't come naturally to INFPs to think about the body, whereas it's really amazing, and we need it to be healthy if we want to grow and still be happy and not suffer from pain all the time. We need to, I'm not sure I believe in the when you forget your body you develop cancer thing. I don't know about that, but what if it's true? Take care of your body, peeps, And another advice, which is for me like the best thing to remember, is that INFPs have a difficulty balancing their life between time spent in their ideal world, creative world, made-up world, and reality. Reality is really great, and it's important for your reality to be good, but if you get caught up in your TE and your SI, which is normal since, as I said, we live in a sort of ESTJ world, you can stop spending time on things that are perceived nowadays as useless, like spending time in an imaginary world, creating worlds, creating characters, painting, thinking of different lives that you could lead, analyzing spiritual stuff, or whatever it is that you do with your extroverted intuition. It's very important to make it healthy. Make it in a way that you can spend a lot of time in there without constantly having to change your reality. And that is a struggle. That is a real fight, I believe, for INFPs, is that we want our reality to make sense and be safe, because that's what life asks of us. You know what life is, right? So, I want to know. Oh, anyway. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. But you also need to use your extroverted intuition. And sometimes it will be seen as unnecessary, because you're going to brainstorm and you won't get anything out of it. And that's the thing. Because it may seem unnecessary, what we, I believe, INFPs want to do is that when we brainstorm, we absolutely have to make a decision based on that brainstorming, or based on that ideal world, or that image that we have in our head. We feel as if it has to become reality, because then it is useless, as if extroverted intuition is only valuable if you put it in the world, but I would just say slow down, you know, press on the brakes, brake, whatever, and just enjoy your NE. Never forget how important it is in our world to be creative, how important it is to break free from reality, because there is so much more than what we can see or hear. There's so much more than that, and navigating it will maybe in a couple of years let you have lots of wisdom or a really great idea or whatever that is, but don't always rush to change your reality based on your extroverted intuition, because that causes lots of stress, and then when you have too much stress, then you can't really enjoy your extroverted intuition. So I would just say trying to balance your ideal self, your ideal life with all the things you have to do in real life can be a struggle, but you just need to put some attention on that little fight within yourself. So yeah, do I have something else? So yes, we are dreamers in a very realistic and logical world. It can be a struggle because, I mean, you have to get on with life, and that's why I was inspired to give you those 5 advice, I believe, 5 little tips that I consciously think about to sort of calm myself down and remember who I am and remember to take care of what really is important to me when I get lost in all the real worldiness, whatever. And you know, what is real, right? What is real? Whatever. So, on this note, this was a video, yes, where I give advice, yes, yeah. See you in 2 weeks. Thank you so much for watching. Tell me what you think about these said advice. Bye, people. Now I'm gonna give a kiss, because that's always what I do. Don't know why.